Do you think Kiwi Skips has what it takes to take on a serious roading project? I think we do. Let's go find out. Who wants to go to Queenstown, right, when you've got Invercargill?
I need to mic up.
These headsets are so cool. I wish we bought them earlier. I'm Dan, this is Kiwi Skips and this is Trash Talk episode 76. It is bright and early in the morning, but I wanted to get in early because we've got so much to get done today. We've got our hook truck doing a roading project, so it's going to be moving gravel out of the site and moving fresh gravel into the site, which is super cool. And on that, we are actually doing another similar job with the Hydro-vac. We're doing non-destructive digging, exposing a whole heap of services at the new Distinction Hotel. And then we've got to jump in the truck and go do some septic tanks. I've also got to talk about, I need you to subscribe. I was aiming for 100,000 subscribers, but let's just get to 1,000 at this stage and then we'll see where we go, because I still want to hit that goal. And if you're watching this on Facebook, that's over on YouTube. We need you to subscribe. And also, if you're on Facebook, this video was released 5 months ago on YouTube. So if you want to get up to date with the latest and greatest, jump across to YouTube and subscribe and watch the videos there. But anyway, hope you enjoy our day today. I certainly will. And there it is, our Kiwi Skips truck is out on a civil job, which is completely out of the usual for us. It ain't waste, but it's a pretty cool job to be part of. Let's go in and have a look. It's not every day you get a call up from a civil company wanting to use skip bins to bring in product in to a site and take product away from site. How cool is this? No 2 days are ever the same at Kiwi Skips, and what a cool project to be part of. We'll be navigating our massive hook truck around the site, and you're also going to meet my brother Jason.
So, let's address the elephant in the room. I'm Jason, I'm not Dan. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. As you can see, there's no waste around here, but there's a big hole and there's a lot of gravel. And I have an empty bin on my truck and a full bin right back there. We're going to have to come through here, back right on through. Going to be bringing in an empty skip bin, and we're going to back it down here. We're going to sit it on the ground and pick up the one that's full.
So this here is a really busy site. It's a tight site and there's so much happening. Obviously our truck just left, this other truck's just come in with new product, and it'll load up and take product back off site. How cool that we've been able to get the Kiwi Skips hook truck involved. We've actually got a hook truck over, we've actually got a hook skip over here. So we actually just got some really good valuable feedback from Jay, who's running the site, is that it would be really useful if this tailgate pivoted out to empty like a normal gravel truck, like the one you just seen, as well as swinging. The reason why these just swing is because we typically use them just for carting waste, and it works really, really good for that. We never really anticipated doing this kind of work, but it ties in so well with the gear we've got, so why not do it, right? And while we're talking civil, let's actually go check out another project, which is a civil project that our Hydro-excavation is working on at a new hotel. A lot of you will be really familiar with this site. Right behind me is Wagner Place, and there used to be a clock tower right here where I'm standing right now. And the reason we're here is because this is a new hotel. And if you look over here, we've got our Hydro-vac working at the Distinction Hotel. And there's also a 5-story car park going in right here, which is fantastic. I can't wait to see this thing finished. But let's talk about what we're actually here to do. And you'll notice I have the headphones on. This is a system you've seen us buy in last week's episode at Safety First. Now I've got this headset on so I can talk to Brad while he's hydro-excavating. Let's go have a close look. So what he's doing here is exposing some power cables, some water lines, some fibre, and this is why hydro-excavation is so important, because if you have a good look, there's so much going on down there, and if you just dived in there with a digger, chances are you'd destroy all of that and cost yourselves days and a fortune. So hydro-excavation is the future of digging. Hey Brad, how's it going? Oh, these headsets are so cool. I wish we bought them earlier. But the reason we did it is because typically what you'll see is 2 people working together, usually one on the vacuum and one water blasting, and it is quite noisy, so you need to be able to talk to each other and communicate as they're constantly yelling between each other. It's not really necessary if you've got a headset like this. So as you can see, the amount of services down there, this here is a complicated job and we've got the best man on it, and I can't leave this site without talking about the amount of Kiwi skip bins there are across the site. And these guys are doing an amazing job at recycling as much as possible. Let's get away from this noise and go find some skip bins. I just noticed they've got almost every single size of skip we've got. Over here we've got the 9 cubic metre, which looks like it's just for cardboard. And then in here we've got a 6 cubic metre, and looks like it's going to go back to our sorting facility. We've got wood, polystyrene. This stuff here is rubbish, as you've seen us talk about in a few previous episodes. Over here we've got a 3 cubic metre skip. This one's full of scrap metal. And then over here we've got another 6 metre skip. And this one here looks like a good mixture of C and D waste. So this will go back to the sorting facility, get separated, jib will come out, tiles will come out. Nice. So this building behind me used to be the Menzies building, and it had a whole lot of government agencies working inside it, but they completely gutted it right back to the frame, added an extra story on the top, and then recladded it, and now it is going to be a beautiful hotel. And down the bottom I believe there's going to be a restaurant, a really nice foyer area where buses will come in and bring tourists in here under this veranda. And how cool that there's going to be so much parking. So what I was showing you previously while I was over there at the clock tower is that they removed that because they're bringing it back to what they used to be. And that was, so many years ago. It used to be Esk Street right through here, and they're opening that back up, so it's going to be a thoroughfare for buses, and that is going to be so good for Invercargill's tourism. Because if you are watching this from outside of Invercargill or outside of New Zealand, you need to get down here and check this place out, because this is the up and coming. While we're on our way out of here, I just stopped and talked to someone, and I found out that behind me in this car park, it's actually 4 floors. Before I said 5, and it's actually 4, which is still great. Love that. Let's carry on. Alright, we're done here at the Distinction Hotel. We'll leave Brad to that, but we're going to carry on and get into another Kiwi Enviro truck and go do a septic tank. We're back in the yard, and I can see the UD hook truck's back in the yard too. Got a massive hook bin on, finished that roading job for today, and I'm actually playing with an idea of getting another hook truck. So let me know in the comments if we should get another UD, an Isuzu, a Hino, a Kenworth, a Scania. Let us know what you think. And right now we're about to jump into a Jetta truck and head out and do a septic tank. Let's do it. So back there in the yard I was asking you what sort of truck we should buy next, and that's not to replace a truck, that's to grow our fleet, because we've got so much work on the go and we've got so much exciting things happening in the next 12 months. And on that, if you've already commented what sort of truck we should buy next, make sure you also chuck us a like while you're there, because we need to get the likes up to get the algorithm really working for us so we get as many views as possible. Because I actually still want to get to my goal of 100,000 subscribers. I'm not going to let that go yet, but currently we're sitting over 650. So if you haven't already, which I know some of you haven't because we can see, make sure you subscribe, and we will keep bringing you good content, and it's only going to get better, right? Now, let's get this truck out to the next job. So here I am, I've just arrived at a septic tank clean out. I've got the hose in the ground, and this is pretty typical of a septic tank. They are usually tucked around behind the house, and this one here has a couple risers which made it super easy for us to find. So what I mean by risers are these concrete rings that elevate it up out of the ground, which makes it really easy because we don't have to dig this up. But when we do have to dig them up, that's absolutely fine. And the ones we have to dig up, normally how we find them is one of these things, a mushroom. So that there usually is the indicator of where the septic tank is, and normally we can actually find them because the lines usually run to a septic tank, and then for off a septic tank you've usually got a septic field, which is usually like an overflow line, which is a perforated hose that runs off the septic tank, and it goes through a paddock, and the grass normally grows really lush in that one line. So there's a few indicators of how to find a septic tank. There's also another few indicators I want you to keep an eye out for, and that is septic tanks. Usually around the time that they need service, the ground around them gets quite squishy, and there's usually a wee bit of a smell. If a septic tank's running healthy, good, there should be no odour whatsoever. But coming close to that time where it needs service, there'll be an odour, and the ground could be getting a wee bit squishy because that water is trying to escape. And another good indicator is grass will be growing really green and lush all around it, because all that stuff acts as a really good natural fertilizer. So anyway, I'm going to get this one cleaned out, and right now what I'm doing, I've just started, and septic tanks are made up of 3 layers. Usually at the top there's a crust, and that's like a hard build up of all the stuff like toilet paper and fat and everything that ends up going through, down your sink, through the toilet, down the shower, that all builds up in there, and then under that we've got a water layer, so we've got the crust, then the water, and then the bottom is a sludge layer, which is actually can be a build up of all sorts of and dirt that comes off the shower or through the washing machine off your clothes too. So that sits down the bottom in a bit of sediment, so we've got to take it off in that layer. So we're going to take the crust, then the water, then the sludge, so we can do it properly, clean it out. So I'm going to work through that and I'll come back soon. So I've just finished cleaning out this tank here, and you're probably wondering what this here is. This is because this is the pump chamber which pumps the water out to the septic field, and there's power for the pump. We'll go take a look at the septic field. So here we are in the back paddock of that property, and you can see where the septic field runs. We've got a couple of risers here which are also cleaning eyes for cleaning this septic field. So we can also run through here with our jetter truck, blast them back down if we're concerned, but for this job I'm not concerned. It seems to be working beautifully. And obviously you can see the grass through here is growing much greener, and the sheep have been loving it. Let's get out of here. Well, that's another septic tank cleaned out, ready to go for another 3 years. In fact, this client was telling me they had their septic tank done 3 years ago, so that aligns perfectly. It was definitely ready to be done. If you think your septic tank might need done, get in touch with me, because I do free septic tank health checks within Southland. And also, if you do need your septic tank done, give us a call and use promo code TRASHTALK and I'll knock 10% off. That is limited to the next 20 septic tank cleans, so get in touch. That is all for Trash Talk episode 76. We'll see you next week, and don't forget to subscribe and click here to see a video when we got this truck. Click here to see last week's video, and we'll see you next week.